Hi there, welcome to the Cult of Cinema. My name is Aaron, and today we are talking about a lot. We've got a lot to talk about. So yesterday I planned to do a live video about the whole Sony Disney situation, which we will get into today. There are some new announcements that we're going to talk about. If you see the linky thing down in below, uh, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we have a new and easier, I think, way to help support the channel if you want to, and that is rather than go through the donation or the super chat super sticker way, which can actually take 30% away from what we get. There's the buy me a coffee option, and the link is down below there. So that is honestly the easiest and best way to support the channel. Um, with that being said, let's get straight into this here and start talking about everything that's going on right now. So, hey there, Josephine. Today we have a lot to talk about. Um, particularly, huh, the announcement. About 2 days ago, we heard the announcement that the Disney Movie Club is closing down completely, gonna be gone. And what does that mean? Well, if you're a member of the Disney Movie Club, hey there, Chris. Uh, then one of the things you can do is you can go and go into the Disney Movie Club right now, and there's massive deals. So there's a whole bunch of Disney Movie Club exclusives. Last time I checked, if you're in the States and you want to go there, you can get like Disney Movie Club exclusives for like $10. And that's pretty damn good because these are exclusives that will be gone. So if you're collecting media and you're collecting like a lot of the Disney stuff, I got like some of the Goof Troop and all that type of stuff initially when I was in the Disney Movie Club, but unfortunately, I'm in Morocco right now, so I can't do it. But if you can, and that's something that you can avail of, I would recommend checking out the Disney Movie Club because right now it is super cheap to check it out. And I want your thoughts on that too, by the way. What is everybody thinking here about this whole Disney Sony thing? Because there's been conversation across the board about this, about what exactly the Disney Sony partnership means. And I want to talk about some 4K stuff here along the way, but before I do, I just want this to be one of these where we can deep dive into some things. And I am 110% excited about that whole about that whole option. So, Chris, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the whole Disney Sony relationship? Some people were surprised that this happened. Some people don't remember Blu-ray versus HD DVD, because with Blu-ray versus HD DVD, the one thing we knew, the important thing, was that Blu-ray won because of Disney. Thank you so much, George. And I need to put up. I need something for that. I need like a later donation link. George, how do you feel about the whole Disney Sony thing? Because me right now, I'm super stoked. So, for those that don't know, and that's pretty much nobody on the internet right now, especially if you watch my channel, is that we got Disney and they've decided to cancel the movie club and all that stuff. But then they decided to not cancel physical media, but to give the physical media aspect over to Sony. Now, some people thought, okay, here we go. Like, they'll just get the newer movies. We'll just get like whatever the latest Star Wars movie is that's coming out, which luckily is not the case. Uh, it looks like what we're going to be getting is we're going to be getting the hopefully at least some of the older titles and some of the Fox releases and such, which makes sense because Sony's been big on pushing like has been very big in pushing like physical media and what they do with it, their 4K releases. And what has been one of their key things that are crowns and kind of in the Sony empire of physical media releases has been the Sony Classics box set, which was massive. The four Columbia Classics box sets that they put out were huge and tend to be like kind of it's Columbia's 100-year anniversary. Uh, with the option to have Fox put in there, I mean, I not yet. Malcolm's actually doing something right now, but he he might be in a little bit actually. I'm I'm iffy on that. I mean, like I want boutique labels to be able to get some of this media, but that being said, Sony put out some really good 4Ks, like no doubt about it. And when it comes to like the technical quality of the releases that they put out, um, just look at something like Christine's 4K. It's impressive. It's super impressive. Um, and it's going to be like a combination between that. I think we're going to get some stuff as was already spoken about earlier on this year. We were made aware that there's going to be that Mill Creek is working with Disney to release some physical media, and where Disney has handed off the physical media aspect over to Sony right now, then Mill Creek will be working with Disney to put out certain physical media releases. Whether I'd say you're looking more towards some Lionsgate type releases, some of that style, that Disney would have. Exactly. I would say that for a lot of the releases, like when it comes to like the older releases, stuff that the may be able to get out there, you'll know exactly what I get because I will let you know when the because it'll come. It should hopefully, fingers crossed, be in at the in end of next month, which is my birthday month. But when it comes to to the physical media release, when it comes to this right now, I'm kind of excited about this. Benet's got his own YouTube channel now, by the way, which you guys should be like make sure that you sign up for. Just saying. Does anybody want to come in and talk about this? Does anybody want to join the chat? Because I got a limited amount of time. So if somebody wants to, you want to jump in, Jason? You're welcome to. We should have Malcolm Johnson a bit, but right now he's busy doing some stuff. You're at work. There. Then you can't. This is my work. Something Wicked this week comes Watch in the Woods. Two great releases. Those I could see. See, here's the thing. Watcher in the Woods, Something Wicked this week comes seem like they could definitely be put out by boutique labels, but here's the thing. I could see that coming in the set of some sort. And if you look at the Columbia sets that they've put out, can you imagine that? Because we're talking about like sets that they put out that rival anything that any boutique labels like put out. The midnight hour, I would kill for. The midnight hour is the problem, Jason, is the music. The music for the midnight hour is the thing they're having issues with. That's something the musical rights for that one has been the thing that's been dragging that one down. The Unfortunately for like a lot of movies like that, I remember seeing the midnight hour when it originally came out. I had the VHS of that back in the day, the one, Cherry Belafonte. But I would kill for that. I would love to see that release come out. And if there's any way to put it out, the super combination between Sony and what we're getting from Disney is the way to do it. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I was all the original music in the Anchor Bay release because I don't remember. I had it, but I don't remember if the right got the right out for all the music, or because remember Fright Night 2 did get a physical release, but that was like quickly yanked because of the whole Menendez brothers thing. So it is possible that Anchor Bay released the Midnight Hour, but it ended up being something that you don't see around so much because maybe they had to yank it or take it off. Because that happens with sometimes you see something released. I have Blood Harvest over there from like from 88 Films, right? The Slasher Classics collection. And because Vinegar Syndrome had the rights to it, uh, although the Blood Harvest did make it on the shelves, it quickly had to be taken off the shelves. So if only if you're lucky enough to know somebody to get it when it was on the shelves, would you be able to get the movie at the time. So not quite sure how Anchor Bay was able to do it, or if they just had to take out certain music. Like for instance, if you picked up the Scream Factory edition of Return of the Living Dead, then some of the songs are changed in that. The only way on a Blu-ray that you can get, as far as I know, the all the original music without any changes in the songs is through Second Sight's release of Return of the Living Dead. Second Sight put it out in a really nice steelbook and a really great edition. I've got it, and it has all the original music from the original release, Return of the Living Dead. If you pick up the Scream Factory version of it, most of the songs are there, but a couple of songs have been changed. Music is always one of the biggest sticking points when it comes to physical media releases. Like more, it seems to be more than anything else. But there's always things that get in the way. Like when Texas Chainsaw Massacre was coming out, uh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what's it called again? The one with Renee Zellweger on it and Matthew McConaughey. The initial artwork for that had Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey like prominently displayed on the Scream Factory slipcover. Obviously, something happened because when they showed the new artwork for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, then the next generation, then what was missing was Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey were no longer on that slipcover. So one of them, or both of their like agents or lawyers or something, stopped it, which is a real shame because it's something that definitely need to happen. That should happen. Got to take a quick check here and see if no, because there's an hour difference between when with me and with Malcolm right now. So there's an hour difference in our time frame. So Malcolm had an appointment that he had to go to. Um, so he probably won't be here for a while on this video right here. I think for me right now, more so than the Disney stuff. Now here's the thing: I got a lot of the early kind of Marvel releases that came out, right? And one of the killer things about it was like picture quality was immaculate. But if you have like the Thor or some of the early like Marvel 4K releases, one of the things you're going to notice right away is you got to crank that sound right up. Like even if it's even if you got a good sound system, like I had a Sonos sound system, and with the woofers and subwoofers and all that when I was in Canada, and we'd have to crank the sound system up pretty loud. Um, so one thing that you can look forward to is seeing and like hearing, and be able to see that it better, depending on how much Disney lets them do with the remastering. Because we know it's distribution, and we assume we because right now this all we can do is assume that they're going to get kind of like get the pick on kind of what's coming out. Obviously, anything new that's coming out from Disney that's going to come from Sony. Anything new comes out from any of the stuff. So any new Marvel or any new Star Wars or any of that stuff that comes out, that that's going to be Sony. It's going to be interesting to see. Are we going to see like the Disney logo? Are we going to see a Sony logo? Is it going to be some new kind of like blanket one, kind of like they did with SDS? Um, it'll be interesting to see how they go with it. I mean, it's exciting. For me, I'm super stoked about this, and there's a reason that I came here today because I was going to make a pre-tape video, a short video, and what the video was going to be about was I was going to talk about my journey when it came to 4K, and I can do that here live with you, or I can make that as a pre-tape after this video is over. So that's up to you. This is a choose your own adventure thing. Hell yeah, that is the right way to be, George. I'm looking forward to seeing Madam Web. I expect Madam Web to be extra great? No. Do I expect Madam Web to be, just a fun, kind of cheesy, you know, time waster of a superhero flick? Yes. I mean, like, I hated Morbius when it came out, man. I hated Morbius. I've since watched Morbius. I'm like, it's all right. It is what it is. And I think the person that did Madam Web, like same director, right? Same writer, right? That wrote Morbius, except a better director. Also, to put it to you in another way, he wrote this movie right here, Dracula Untold, and people bitched about this movie. I actually really like this movie. Making a pre-tape your 4K journey. Thank you, Gleaming. That's what I'm leaning towards. But yeah, I actually really liked Dracula Untold. And I'm fairly sure that it's by the same writers. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, and people are saying, "Oh, stop these guys from writing any more stuff." There's a lot of people that started out like writing and directing stuff that may have not done the greatest, that had hit home runs out of the gate, right? That went on to do some incredible stuff. So, just to give you an example, for instance, Matt Reeves made one of my. I agree, man. Good, great minds think alike. Very wise. Because Matt Reeves made one of my favorite Batman movies, The Batman. I love that movie. I think it's great, and I love his Planet of the Apes movies as well. I thought they were really well done. However, Matt Reeves also made The Paul Bear, a David Schwimmer film that I found painful to watch when I initially saw it. So imagine if Matt Reeves had made The Paul Bear, and they're like, "Oh no, Matt Reeves, that movie sucked. Let's not let him make anything else." Wouldn't have got the excellent Planet of the Apes movies. Wouldn't have got the Batman movie that came out last year. Well, it's last year before last. God, time goes so fast now. The Batman on 4K. Can't wait for the spinoff show they're doing. Me too. I really want to see that. Because that's the thing. If would have been like just judged on his early stuff like the Paul Bear, he never would have made the stuff that like the Batman. I'm eagerly awaiting the sequel and seeing where they're going to go with it and what villain they're going to use, because I don't think we're going to get the Joker. I think it's going to go in a very different way. I like Barry Keoghan played the Joker in like the first a small part at the end of the Batman. Spoiler alert for a movie that's been out for a few years, but I think we're not going to get that. It makes sense because Crave is like kind of HBO for Canada. When I was in Canada, I had Crave because I wanted to get the. At the time, I got it because I wanted to see Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, that kind of movie that's like miniseries length. Now, that being said, wasn't that great of a movie, but it was visually like all Zack Snyder films, visually beautiful to watch. Um, and I kept Crave afterwards. And I remember I watched. I got sick one day. I sat down and watched the show Barry, which I recommend everybody check out. It's a really good show with Bill Hader. Man, the first season that was so not what I thought it was going to be, especially seeing Bill Hader before. Or yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's better. I go back and forth with the Justice League movies, right? So I didn't mind the Whedon one. There was a lot of issues with tonally, with the way some of the characters were portrayed, and I thought that, oh man, this is a Whedon thing. Like Justice League's characters are kind of off because of Joss Whedon. It's Joss Whedon's fault. Then I saw Wonder Woman 1984 and realized, no, the characters are just off. Um, there's no like clear consistency with the way that they're being done. Even from like the Flash, from like the Justice League to the Flash from the movie The Flash, at, you've got the same actor, and you kind of got the same base, but this it seemed like the consistency of the work and a throw, even when it was the same like person. Patty Jenkins did Wonder Woman, which I thought was excellent, and she did Wonder Woman 1984, which I thought was a nice time waster. But overall, um, I'd rather go back and watch Wonder Woman or again and just bypass 1984 because there's probably better movies that I can watch, or I can just watch 2 episodes of Linda Carter's Wonder Woman. Um, there was no hand like kind of guiding it right. I mean, like, uh, I feel like Snyder makes decent films, but is not a good person to be like a showrunner because like of a universe. You got the Hot Wheels of the Batman. Oh, that's cool. I would totally get that. I would totally get that. I got the 1966 Batman series, like on the limited edition that came with like the 66 Batmobile, like Hot Wheels car, and like up there. I'm a massive comic book fan. So for me, it's hard to get superhero fatigue because when I'm not watching movies, and eventually when the comic book movie comes out, I'll end up watching it. My worst comic book movie experience was was Black Adam. That I'll go back and watch it again sometime. That was really hard to watch, like to get through. Like they had all these good actors, and then you had like The Rock's character, and it just didn't work. Just like the script, there's something off. Um, I felt bad for Henry Cavill because yes, it is. It's pokey. I am a massive like collector of all types of stuff. I got my animation over there. It's called the Animation Station, and that's what I call it. I'm a geek like that. So one of the things I got about these like Gummy sets, right? I got like a '60s, a '70s, and an '80s Gummy set, and this is one of them. Came with Pokey the horse, kind of a bendable. There's a Gumby one too, but I didn't get it because I just couldn't find it. I was at my local Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada, and for some reason they had a whole bunch of like gummy stuff there, so I picked it all up. Except the movie, I should have got the movie, but I got a few things in the background. I'll let you guys see some stuff here. So, anybody recognize this? Huh? See, I just want to see if anybody can guess before I say what this is. Nobody? So this is Nubbins. Nubbins is I have somewhere over here. I have crop, crop chopped from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So pretty much, this is the hitchhiker's dead body. That's the Chop Top carries around at the beginning of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre when we see. Ever have the glowworm ties? I think my sister had glowworm. I was a little too old for glowworm, but I think my sister had it. Also, of course, I have, which is a favorite of my dad's, right here. Sony, the perfect company for releasing Disney movies. The Columbia Classic collections look very premium packaging. They put slip covers in the boxes. Did you know, Gleaming? Only found this out recently when I was speaking to Malcolm, that in North America we get slip covers for those Columbia Classic sets, but in the UK they don't. Uh, Not sure if it's a different distributor for Sony in the UK. But the one thing missing, if you buy UK version of the Columbia Classics, the slipcovers aren't there, which is a real shame actually, because the North American ones are pretty baller. That's what I'm expecting. Like some people are going along the negative aspect of this, but Gleaming, I'm expecting that we're probably going to get. Sony's done a Sony Classics, that big square box with all those movies in it. And we've done 4 Columbia Classics. It just makes sense that now that they have the option and the ability, that Fox Classics with like probably a 6-movie box set, probably the next thing when it comes to these releases, because it's a great way to extend Sony's classic film series that they're doing. And I think that Columbia Classics boxes have gotten better with which each one that's come through. For me, I want number 3 really badly because number 3 has just as such like special feature just insane. They're insane. Do I own any board games? I own 78 board games actually. My better half, Josephine, is a collector board games. The last one that she got from her sister, and it was Seven Wonders. And it's a fantastic game. It's got mechanics kind of like Civilizations. If you ever tried that one. Hey there, Mike. Welcome, man. Good morning or good afternoon here in Morocco land. How do you feel, Mike? How do you feel about the Sony Disney thing? Do I think it's overpriced? I mean, well, here's the thing. It's a good question. I don't think so. Now, obviously, the latest one is more expensive than the others. Now, reproduction 4K is way more expensive than reproducing Blu-rays or DVDs. 4Ks are more expensive, and whereas sometimes you'll see like as technology comes along, it gets cheaper. At this time and point, it hasn't gotten cheaper. It has gotten a little bit more expensive, actually reproducing 4Ks. So when a company is putting out a 4K release, it's starting to get more expensive. So they have to really think, especially if you're a smaller label, what movies you're going to release on 4K. Now, add into that aside from the 6 movies that Sony went out of their way and took Starman, the TV series with Robert Hayes and Christopher Barnes. Yes, Christopher Barnes, the voice of Spider-Man from Spider-Man the Animated Series, um, and and put as a bonus into that Columbia Classics Volume 4, by the way, put the Starman, the complete Starman TV series. Now, they could have put the DVDs out there before, right? They could have put out a Blu-ray of Starman, the TV series, as a slight upgrade. But they didn't do that. They put out a 4K disc edition of all 22 episodes of Starman, the TV series. All 22 episodes on 2 4Ks. So normally you wouldn't want like 2 episodes, right? Like a 22 season series on 2 discs, right? So if you're going to do it and you're going to do it well and you're going to remaster it and it's going to look really good, and you want it the best possible quality that you can have it, then what you want is to put it on 4K. And that's what they did. They put it as an extra. Hey, the Semitech, welcome, man. There's an episode guide. There's all 22 episodes. The complete Starman TV series, which, by the way, I watched when I was younger. It's a great show. My cousin got me the DVD edition one year for Christmas because he knew what a massive fan I was of like the old TV shows. So the fact of getting like the Starman TV series on 4K along with that amazing film which is one of John Carpenter's most underrated movies, Starman, um, is something that I just had to get. We watched the trailer for X-Men '97 Film Watcher, and man, did we geek out! My better half and me were like hearing the music, da 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 da, all that stuff again, right? And we're watching the new designs for the characters and that, and we're like, that is so good. Thank God she doesn't. I mean, like old dolls creep me out, so thank God that's the one thing she doesn't do. So I think it's pretty well priced for what it is, and things always go on sale after a while. The initial like releases for the Climate Classics, George, like hit around like the 190, 150, 199 mark. Um, and now you can get like volume 3 for like around like 70, $80 in Canadian. So probably around like 60 something in the UK. Now that being said, you don't want to wait too long because volumes 1 and 2 are sold out. Do you have any of the Marvel Epic collection? I do. I collect Marvel Epics and I collect omnibuses. So for those that are unaware, I will show you something right now, real quick. There you go. I massively big when it comes to the omnibus and epic and absolute formats. So when I talk about movies and comic book movies and stuff like that, I talk about them from the somebody that used to watch me this stuff. So I mentioned being sick. What does that wholesome shows make us feel physically better? Watching the Waltons. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I can never really get into the Waltons as much as some people could. But you're right. It's like chicken soup for the soul. Like is the pair steal the title of that book, right? Um, it's like when you're feeling a funk, like say you got broken up with or something like that, and you listen to a whole bunch of like breakup songs, sad songs. It just somehow it kind of feeds the mood that that you're in or helps it out. Like I watch like shows like Three's Company or Y50. Ironically, the show that is kind of my comfort show when I'm sick is something that you wouldn't think would be comfort show. But I watched Law and Order SVU, um, and I think it's because there's a uniformity to it. Like I know when you kind of know what you're getting into. Like the beats. There's a formula. There's a formulaic aspect to it. When I was younger, particularly, I would watch a lot of the Friday 13th films when I wasn't feeling well because I knew exactly what they were. And although I'd seen them tons of times before, the whole aspect of it was it just I just felt it was my comfort zone. It was my comfort place. What I'm reading right now, for those who want to know, is I'm reading Eerie Archives Volume 2 from Dark Horse, and I'm reading Alias. That's the Jessica Jones omnibus, which I got when I was in Canada. I wish I could tell I was reading something a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Slightly more elevated, but I'd be lying to you if I did. Show you. So right here, for instance, is the whole Disney Movie Club. It still says that you can register right here, right? Say register your online movie account. Okay, say I don't have one. Say I want to become a member. Would they still let you become a member right now? Let's find out. Let's do that. Let's find out. Doesn't look like it gives you the chance to. So let's go to log in. Not going to log in, but we're going to see what it says here. So if you've already got a Disney Movie Club account, looks like you can do that. Mondo team has original team for Star Lord and such. It does. I've got the omnibus, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy Solo Classics omnibus. Also, I thought since we're here, Umbrella made some announcements. Might as well look at them. I'll be honest with you, not exactly stoked with the umbrella announcements, but I want to know. All totals are $10 on Disney Movie Club. Oh, the blood that return. Oh God, return. Oh, you make me so sad, man. Um, I need to know. I wish I knew somebody that was in the Disney Movie Club right now. If you know somebody, Simtex, that's in the Disney Movie Club, avail of that because I will be loading my card up. I tell you that much right now. My youngest, my daughter, youngest daughter. She's a massive. She used to be a massive Frasier fan. All right, so look at the releases that are coming out. So they have 2004's Primer coming out in a set collector's edition with a Blu-ray, book, rigid case, slip case, plus poster, plus art cards. And don't know why. Yeah, that's the thing. Standard. I like honestly some stuff. I just say wait for the standard edition, man, because I don't think Primer needs needs a limited edition. I don't think any of the new ones need limited editions. To be honest with you, that's just me. I love the Guyver. I love both Guyver films actually. I wish they both got 4Ks. Like we got Trash Humpers here, Blu-ray, VHS, press kit, book. Did anybody really think that this movie needs a release like this? Like, in all seriousness, was anybody clamoring for Trash Humpers? Maybe they were. Uh, Probably got with our other cards. Um, but yeah, I don't see it, man. Upstream color, again, collector's edition, 2013. Yeah, it's like from the guy that did Primer. So there you go. You get Primer and upstream color. See, Bully, I can understand. I get that. Coffee, I get. Like something like He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Tank Girl, yes, 1,000,000%. Trash Humpers, You'll Never Find Me. I just don't get it. Uh, it's not everything needs to be made into like a special edition. I haven't actually yet. I'll see if I can find it for you though, Wave. I do know that the quality of the Blu-ray was good. That I do have. I've got the older Blu-ray uh, from 2 years ago because that's when I was reviewing for them, and they sent it to me, and that was really good. And I never felt the need that to like go like I love 4K, and I think 4K is a much maligned like format. Not enough people talk about it, and not enough people like kind of champion it. And I think what happens is that you'll have some people, and it happened on Blu-ray when it went from DVD to Blu-ray. You'd have some people that would go, "Oh, well, I'm not going to buy that because it's not Blu-ray," or "I'm going to wait till the Blu-ray edition that comes out." And after a while, like it's a minority, right? That gets annoying to like a certain subsect of the collector base, or like, "Oh my God, can you please shut up about this?" Right? So we're getting that with 4K as well, right? Where people are like, oh, maybe I want to buy this, but maybe I'll wait to see if 4K comes out. I'm not going to buy that yet because that's not 4K. And there's people that are collecting Blu-ray and DVD, Laserdisc, DVD, whatever, like VHS, whatever, that are like, oh my God, can you please just shut up about it? I'm going to wait till it's 4K. It's the division of the marketplace that unfortunately happens, but it gets silly. I think I love 4K releases. But there's things like for me, for instance, shot on video movies don't need to be Blu-ray. But if you can find a way to make them better on Blu-ray, fantastic. I think like a shot on video could be like a DVD. Like Blu-ray, maybe if you want to like, it'll last longer. Then again, I got like DVDs that I've had for like 20 odd years, and I've had no disc rot, which that the boogeyman of the whole DVD thing is disc rot. Um, but the thing, what are your thoughts on stuff like that? Spring Breakers. Spring Breakers I like. So that's see, but then again, that one's more my jam, right? That's more the type that like. Whereas the other two, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Um, I definitely would be into to that one. I actually like that movie a lot. The girls number really good. Cute too. So that helps out. Uh, but I had wanted to look into some of the upcoming releases here, but I want to see. And I have a question for everybody. And George, if you're here, I want to. I'm put you one of your thoughts on this. Um, so Eureka is putting out China O'Brien 1 and 2, and they're doing like a 4K edition of it. It's £29, probably cheaper than what we're going to get from Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome is doing their edition of it. Have people picked us out on the fence yet? Like on which one you're going to go with? Are you going to get the Eureka edition of China O'Brien, or are you going to get the Vinegar Syndrome edition of China O'Brien? Like the Vinegar Syndrome edition looks to have more features, as far as we know right now. Uh, but here's the thing, and this bothers me. Really? Was his favorite film? Well, there you go. See, like I always say, there's a favorite film for everybody, right? So every film is there's a film out there, somebody's favorite film. Don't buy Blu-rays as much, but still the only way to get some films. Exactly. It's good enough for some movies, but I always prefer 4K. Don't beg 4K though. Those people are not. Yeah. Um, when Eureka made their China O'Brien announcement, Eureka doesn't make a ton of announcements, right? It was a big deal. People were very excited about that announcement. You go. Doesn't matter as long as you get DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. As long as you got the movie, that's the way to think about it, man. Movie should be the movie over format, right? Um, if you are lucky enough to get it in in that like ultimate format, fantastic. Oh, there we go. Vinegar Cinema, the better packaging, Eureka will be cheaper and have better extras and essays. Yeah, I think I was a bit put off it personally that right after Eureka announced that they were putting out China O'Brien, that Vinegar Syndrome couldn't give him a day, like for that like announcement. They couldn't give him a day, not even 24 hours for that announcement to come out for people to get excited about it, for people in the UK to get excited about it. No, Vinegar Syndrome had to immediately jump on that and then blast out their announcement. It seemed a bit sus to me. That's just me. Like personally, I didn't like the way they handled it. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for coming in, man. I really appreciate it. I'll get you on chance sometime, by the way. They did. I mean, like it came across that way. I'm not sure if they meant it that way, but it really came across like, and it kind of soured me. If they'd announced it like a couple of days down the road, or when they're doing the regular announcements type of thing. Um, okay, hey, Maddie, welcome, man. Uh, but I'll be honest with you. Be- that in short, that I'm going to buy the Eureka version of China. I love the China Bryan films. I got like the first one upstairs in DVD, right? Um, don't buy Eureka's edition. Buy our $70 edition instead. Yeah, I don't think so, dude. I mean, it's shady, man. And I expect better because Vinegar Syndrome has been pretty good when it comes to like with the way that they handle their PR, the public relations and customer stuff. Oh yeah, so when they initially announced Maddie, when Eureka came out and they announced this one right here, show you, man, Sean O'Brien. So they announced the Sean O'Brien 4K and Blu-ray double feature that was coming out. So it was it was a big deal, and Eureka was kind of excited to get it out there and all that type of stuff. Within a couple hours, uh, Vinegar Syndrome just jumped right out there and just let everybody know, oh no, we're putting out our Sean O'Brien one, and it's going to be way better and way more expensive, but it'll be worth it. Like you couldn't give Eureka a day, you couldn't give them a week to like just like their announcements. They had to just come in and like kind of like crap on Eureka's announcement and kind of just try to overshadow it, which I really look it was an embarrassing look for Vinegar Syndrome. Like it really looked bad. Yeah, it was like it sucked. Second Sight Second Sight gave Umbrella a few weeks before announcing their exactly. Second Sight gave Umbrella a few weeks before announcing their possession 4K, which is what you do because um, if not, then you're like the bully guy, right? And it's a classless tactic. It's not something that you normally do. And I guess like I love a lot of what Vinegar Syndrome puts out, and I've been a massive fan of the company for a long time. But I would be lying to you guys if I said I don't feel like, even though I'm more excited about some of the releases that they're putting it this year, that in some ways I feel like they've peaked. Um, yeah, I've seen it with Scream Factory. I saw it with Anchor Bay, with the initial Anchor Bay, the original Anchor Bay, where everybody loved them. So I think there's more behind the scenes. I think like if Eureka is more Criterion, so that's the edition of China Brian that I go for. Uh, but I don't think it's just this release. It's like it's the way that they've been coming off lately. When we see companies that work together and to do things, to put out releases that we're excited about, then you don't want. Then that's what you want to see. You don't want to see like companies that are coming off petty and kind of like just kind of juvenile towards one another. That always it makes me, if there's two versions of a movie and like I want to pick up Writing Wrongs from Vinegar Syndrome, and after the China O'Brien announcement, I know that I'm going to pick up the 88 Films edition of Writing Wrongs. I'm going to miss out on that like 80s whatever kung fu documentary that Vinegar Syndrome put into theirs, but it soured me, and we'll see how things go from here on out. But this today, I wanted this to be kind of like an open, kind of free flow conversation. We can kind of talk about some different things that we want to talk about. That we don't have to be like stuck into like something like super thematic, and we can dive into some different stuff. And I want to do this. So if you like this type of video, I want to be able to do this every once in a while to like go in there and say, I want to talk about a lot of different topics. I want to be able to really kind of flow on certain things. And just really be able to do that. Hey, I'm going to take myself out for 1 second. You guys want to see the one of the new Call to Cinema logos that's coming up, and will be part of the actual new Buy Me a Coffee like merch when I set it up. So it's just going to take me a second. I'll be right back. But let me know what you think. There we go. So that is one of the new logos for the Call to Cinema. We have a new logo set up for the Call to Comics as well, and I'm actually going to show you that right now. And a bit of a sneak peek, but when October comes around, we'll be adding this into this one as so for us, there's a lot of big stuff going on behind the scenes. Hey, Sheena, welcome, man. Enjoy One Piece. It's a really good show, and I'm glad you and your mom watching it together. It's like come Doctor Who and wrestling. Well, I like Doctor Who and wrestling, so that I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Maddie. Thanks, Wave. Film watcher. We've been working really hard on getting some stuff up there. The purple and green one, the best. The purple and green one is the purple. So the purple one is for is going to be we're putting that one out for horror season. We will be getting a new Call of Jello logo, as well as if you are an animation fan, I want to do an animation station logo. So whether that's going to be coming on, like we're looking into, like mugs, T-shirts, stickers, that type of thing, the usual stuff. We're partnering up and just started up with Buy Me a Coffee. So I'm going to see how they work out when it comes to merchandising, and that's where we're going to go from here on out. And oh, you're here finally. He's finally here, guys. Drop in. Actually, drop in for a couple minutes. I'm actually going to go off in around 5 minutes because my computer's at like 20%. But let's get Malcolm in for a second. Let's see if we can get in quick enough to actually be in the video. Call it B Westerns. I don't know enough. That could be your thing, did you know? There you go. Spaghetti westerns, baby. I'm more of a I know more spaghetti western stuff. But some people don't like the term spaghetti westerns because it has, I guess, a negative connotation, which I think is kind of silly. But I watched a documentary on it, and I was watching one on Pliziateshi as well. My cats are doing their own like SmackDown right now, their own Royal Rumble. I say we can get Malcolm in here for 5 minutes before we end off this video. I want to get his thoughts on a couple of things. Did you get into Call to Jail merchandise when it came out? Maddie, we really went into that one. Hello.
Hello.
Got there.
You went live without me.
Well, you had an appointment earlier on. You had to go do some stuff out, shopping or whatnot.
I thought you were going to wait.
I couldn't. My better half has her own meeting later on.
Tell her to change it. How dare she?
But I showed the logos for the Call to Cinema and
Noise.
gave a sneak peek at our October logo.
Ooh. Did people like it?
They did, which is really, really good. But what I want to talk to you about, because I'm at like 20% on on this, is I want to give a quick convo. We were talking earlier about the Disney Sony thing and the way some people have been slightly, not exactly. I've been a bit more negative or a bit more like pessimistic on the thoughts of it.
You mean in what way?
Well, they said, well, it's just going to be, it'll just be new stuff. It's not going to be anything. Not going to get, there won't be any catalog codes at all. There won't be, just literally like you're just shooting stuff down. When we know that that's not
the case.
Yeah. Basically, hey there, welcome, Indy.
Indy.
It will have a mug and a T-shirt eventually. I've signed up for Buy Me Coffee. And if that goes well, we'll get you to sign up for Buy Me Coffee, and we'll be able to do stuff here.
Sounds good.
So it's snowing here in China. Yeah, I think it's the better option when it comes to that, and that way, when people want to donate to the channel, and just want to donate to one of us, basically, it goes directly to, and we don't. Like, for those who don't know, once you do this through Google AdSense, you lose 30%. Yep. And through Buy Me a Coffee, it's only 5%, which is a massive difference. And when I'm trying to get like upgrade stuff for the channel, when I want to get like when I want to get better mics and all that type of stuff, or want to buy things to show off on the channel, it helps out because then I get to utilize more of the donation as opposed to times when it comes in and I'm like, okay, here we go. Here's the.
Well, what I tell people is if people do donate to me at some point, it would go towards probably a better computer, probably better mic for when I move.
When you're doing
for when I'm doing like YouTube and doing these videos, with you. Because I need to seriously upgrade that stuff at some point, Computer I do because I need to do the editing and I can't edit at the minute. Microphone because I want a proper microphone instead of using earpods.
Mic is what I need, and I need headset because I want to get into me and you doing some some streaming and some gaming and stuff like that on here, and if we're watching some movies together. For those who don't watch or don't listen to our No Name Wrestling podcast that we do on Patreon, that eventually I want to be able to sit down and watch some of those classic old school cheesy pay-per-views with viewers.
Yeah.
Imagine watching old ECW, like classic one of their nice uncut pay-per-views.
And being uncensored when we talk about it as well.
Exactly. It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot easier to do with the right headset mic. Looking forward to that. You actually know you can't on Twitch right now. Not unless you're already a member. Join the Disney Movie Club.
Oh yeah, that's depressing. I can't believe it. I can't remember who it was, but someone said, "Oh, all their exclusives are like $10." I was like, "No."
Several people. I think Movie Palace of Blood commented on it, but he's not the only person. There's a few people.
I was like, "Oh, so many I'd buy." Mostly the Goofy movies, and probably Doug.
The one I got Doug, the first movie, and I got the Goof Troop. Those were so good.
Do you have both of them?
Both of which one?
The Goof Troops.
Yeah.
In case people were saying anything, I can't see the comments at the minute. So.
George said he's not that rich, but he'll donate to you sometime, Malcolm.
Say again?
George says, I'm not that rich, but he'll donate to you sometime.
So I appreciate that, George. That means a lot.
We'll let you know. You'll let you guys know when everything works out. And what we're doing right now, I've set up the Buy Me a Coffee. We'll see what goes. We see if I get donations on that, then I'll be like, okay, Malcolm, set it up. Let's get it going, because
Yeah.
we eventually want to do a podcast together, and
Yeah.
a movie podcast, and with that, we're going to need stuff like that, because I don't like Patreon's a nice option, but I think for us, it Buy Me a Coffee may be our I'm going to say, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be our best option,
Mm.
especially where you want to you're want to upgrade, and you're like me,
Yeah.
we're continuously upgrading.
Yeah. Well, never. I'm getting back into it. I want to do that, but I want people to know as well on this. If you do donate to me, or I'm sure the same Aaron, but I'm talking for myself here. Is I want you to know that I will show you definitely what would be picked up from it. What thank you for it, and say, look, this is because of this and this. I won't say, oh, like if I got, let's say, a new computer after getting a certain amount of donations, I won't be like, oh, I bought this computer. I say, oh, thanks to these people for helping me pick the computer, as well as, for paying, even if it's like a quarter or whatnot, from, like donations thing over time.
And that's the thing.
Because,
You can actually set up on the Buy Me a Coffee thing, like help me get, and you can say like a
yeah,
computer, help me get a mic, type thing.
yeah.
People can actually donate towards that.
So I could say, help get me a pump to get bigger.
All the Herbie movies, man, I love the Herbie movies. I'm a massive Herbie fan.
Herbie's great. Do you know I've only ever watched one of them.
Which one?
I don't know. I know it's not the one with Lindsay Lohan in. I know that it's a classic one.
The Lindsay Lohan.
I think I'd know it if I saw a bit of the film.
Was it in color or black and white?
It was color.
All right, so it's not the first one, the Love Bugs in black and white. Was there a race?
There was a race.
Was Don Knotts in it?
Yes, I believe so.
Then probably Monte Carlo. I think it's her because Monica.
Okay, well that's the one I've seen then. I do need to watch them again, because last time I saw them I was like kids, so I need to watch them again.
I love the fact that I mentioned the Sony stuff and somebody's comment, and this is fantastic. Is that like, yay, signing the sale with 4K? It's so
it's going to come out. It's going to come out.
It's so not. Brad Henderson put onto our, when we did the TerraVision one, he recently said, grave face titles can be included into your sub. You just have to opt in every time unless you sign up for the grave face subscription. So if you, for the TerraVision subscription, you can opt in to have the grave face titles included into your TerraVision subscription.
I did that recently. I sent him an email and said I want to opt in for him.
Because we did talk about it, and he did take the time out to actually put that on there. So I thought it would make be good to go back and mention it.
Yeah, definitely.
The Black Hole, the Witch Mountain movies, man. Oh, the Witch Mountain, no, not the Dwayne Johnson one. It was very good.
The Dwayne Johnson one's the best.
Sucked. But the original Witch Mountain movies, Return to Witch Mountain, Escape from Witch Mountain. Oh, man, that was my jam, man.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the parody one? Enter Witch Mountain.
Is that an actual thing?
It was.
I don't know that one. But no, I mean, there's some interesting stuff right now. It's some stuff I'm very excited about. I'm expecting, and I'll get your thoughts on this. Do you think that with the Sony Classics box set and the Columbia Classics box set, that it's much of a leap to think that Sony could be doing a Fox Classic box set down the road?
I believe so, because I think there's big money in that right now.
I think it makes
For
sense.
sure.
That nostalgia factor, and that's what it's collectors that are kind of fueling the 4K market, right?
Yeah.
And 100%. It's like Laserdisc, right? When Laserdisc around, collectors were Laserdisc, cinephiles were Laserdisc people, and because it was more expensive, and I think it's more expensive to buy. So when you want to see something like that, want to see those classics, I still haven't. I hoped that I get the Columbia Classics. My fingers are still crossed. That I'll, because I may do a slight little contest, a digital contest.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. Depending on what they send me, but it'll be interesting because I would love to see like I love to have the I don't have the Sony Classic set. I want it so bad,
Yeah.
and I want
Oh,
all those
that big
coming.
one, right? The big one.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
got like bent over and just shoved with this with the
Well,
Columbia
you know
Classic.
what? You know what? I really wanted that set, that big one, because it's so beautiful and the way it
Yeah.
opens and everything. And then I realised that a couple of the
Oh, wow.
films in it I could get separately, and I already had. And then I was like, oh, because you can still buy it, right? But if I ordered it from America, it'd get so damaged. I just know it would.
Thank you, Cinematech. Our very first coffee.
Hey,
Nice. Okay.
nice one.
Oh, somebody mentioned a movie that I like, actually. Maddie did.
What movie?
Sense memory. Watch Larry Cohen's Wicked Stepmother.
Oh, that's a good one.
Must have been a huge career. Well, Wicked Stepmother initially it's a Betty Davis movie, actually, if it's what I'm thinking about, right? But she got sick
Yes.
or there's some issues, and that Barbara Carrera, I think Barbara Carrera
Oh,
came in after, like
there's a
the fourth.
big. I know there's a big story about that.
Yeah, there is.
Hmm.
Use funds for copies only. There we go. What if I use the funds for like movies that I can watch with my coffee?
Oh,
It's interesting. I want to see how it goes. I'm doing a video later on. I'll have to charge my computer before I do it. I'm doing a pre-tape later about my journey into 4K, and I want to do a video with you, Malcolm, actually, on
oh,
that we'll talk about later, but maybe to be 4K related because I've been kind of interested in like what the way things have been going. I mean, I think we're
yeah,
going to get like what we expect is, then we're going to get the newer stuff first. It's rumored that the
of
first element
course,
is
yeah.
the first Sony like Disney collab release, but I think that it just makes sense to see them going into other aspects. Sony's smarter about it than other companies have been. And I can say that. And I can say this before I worked with Sony because you can look at my releases and you can see I bought
Of course,
a
yeah.
ton of them. But the thing is, Twilight Time, we're putting out like Fright Night and Christine and all that stuff. Sony looked at it and said, wait a minute, there's a market
Yeah.
for these titles that they didn't realize before. Like people, there's a real serious market for them. Those were some
Well,
out for
you know,
Twilight Time.
I'm excited for Sony because as much as I joke about all the time, they don't release inferior, 4K Blu-rays. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
actually
take
do
the
do
time.
good quality. Like you're going to get the great sound and great, picture quality, and that's true, right? Because they put the effort into it.
Yeah, it's like
As some of them
no,
they don't.
I mean, yeah, no, like the early, I got a ton of like superhero ones, like Marvel ones, and
Yeah.
if you understand, I'm sure you do. The early, especially a lot of the early Marvel ones, man, did you have to crank that sound? Like,
Yes.
like to hear Thor Ragnarok, for instance. That was a newer Marvel one. Like, I
Yeah.
was like turning it up and turning it up and turning it up because it was just so low. I think Disney's
Crazy.
putting it. I think Disney putting it the massive animation box. It was anything else but a massive cash grab. Are you talking about the one in the UK? Is that the big one? Um, any like thing coming out like that is, well, let's be honest. They're yes. Uh,
Wasn't
do
that
you
a
want more
volume
money
one?
on it?
Wasn't that a volume one?
That's the giant one. Uh,
Hmm.
I'll show you. It's a legacy box set. It is super pricey.
Okay.
But let's see how good to Walmart, for instance. And when I say super pricey, I'm going to go to Walmart and show you guys this. Are you ready for it?
All right. Let's do that.
Oh, gotta put it on the screen.
Oh.
Yep,
How
here it is.
much is that?
$1,500.
Oh, that one. I remember now. Yeah. Yeah, and he only had like, didn't it have like 2 that weren't available before?
Yeah. Is it a
That
cash
was
grab?
awful.
Most
Yes.
definitely a cash grab. Is it something that if I had the right amount of like money on me, I'd buy? Hell yes, I would buy that. Like the crystal like Mickey Mouse Club ears thing,
Yeah.
um, and all that. That I would.
You need to pick that. You need to pick the ears up and wear them in the stream.
I'm a massive like people don't realize this because I talk about like horror and exploitation, all this stuff a lot. But I grew up with Walt Disney stuff. I grew up with the one for the Disney's come on every Sunday, be an hour and a half to 2 hours
Yeah,
long. You
you
get
were
like
around when it started.
yeah, I was right. Yeah, look, I'm when me and Walt Disney we were going around playing kick the cans. But no, it's something I was excited about. I've always been a Disney fan. And I've been through the dark days of Disney, the '80s when
Oh
they're putting
yeah.
not so big stuff.
The
But
dark days of Disney for me were when they started doing more live action than animated.
uh, I like some of the live action. It depends. Hate some modern mixes where you have to turn the volume up to 100 to hear the dialogue. Like some of my videos, unfortunately. That's why I'm using this here now, guys, because some of my videos recently, see, you had to turn up to 100 to actually hear me. So I wanted to change it around.
Nice, and you do sound very clear.
Thank you. It's my you start using my getting my ball in my hand, my snowball,
Your balls.
like the bully set. It's a fantastic film, actually. Larry Clark, man, that guy. I'm not sure what happened to Larry Clark's childhood, but like kids and bully, man.
He did that Martha girl one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, I really didn't like that movie that much. I haven't watched the second one yet.
Something Wicked This Way Comes is one of my favorites.
Good one.
Yep. I watched that so many times. The first movie channel that we ever got, Malcolm, Super Channel, it's called,
Yeah.
in Canada. One of the first things that came on the very first day that it showed was Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh,
The
yes.
other one, when they were promoting this miniseries, this exclusive to the Super Channel miniseries, and it went out afterwards. You've probably seen this by now. It's something called Murder in Space,
Oh,
and it
yes,
was
yes.
a murder mystery with a whole bunch
Yeah.
of like Chris like murder mystery done up in like a space station.
Yeah, that was great, that.
Yeah,
Made
I
a
barely
difference to
remember.
all the others.
I did see the sign say at the Walt Disney World Camping Resort. That I'm not sure if that is if I if I'm like a little nervous about that or not. That the camping Walt Disney Camp Resort, they're like, all right, we got you in a camp, kids. Let's show you the problematic ones.
All the Mickey's gonna come and see you.
I got their propaganda set, their World War II set, the Disney Treasures.
Oh,
I
yeah.
recommend everybody. That's so good. Oh man.
You can't just buy them now, though, can you? They cost a fortune now.
Yeah, they cost. The last one we had to get was a Donald Duck, one of the Donald Duck collections, and that, like I told you before, that costs a bit. eBay.
Oh, it's crazy.
We're at a hockey game in St. John's, and as we're watching the hockey game, Hannah was looking down at her phone, and she was like, looks up at me, and she's like, "I did something."
Uh-oh.
What'd you do? She said, "I bought something." She said, "But it was the last one, and we need to." She has a
How
massive.
many is there in total?
Oh God, that's a good question. I'm totally not going to look that up. I'm going to know it off the top of my head. Come on. I'm thinking.
Thinking. You're thinking like me when I was thinking about the Tarzan movies.
That was so obvious, man. 30. There's 30, and I totally didn't look that up.
Well, it's only 30. I thought there'd be more.
No, they were hard to find because you got the latter ones, like they had both seasons of the original Zorro series.
Yeah.
And they had like pins with those and just a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Oh,
There's the
yeah.
Oswald Monkey Rabbit that had kind of the gold tin. And
So that's what those. So that's what. Sorry to cut you off there. Just wanted to say this. So that's what those animated ones with the pins they re-released were basically them kind of trying to put them in the same kind of look as
yeah,
the
they're
film
kind of getting
treasures.
like they're getting the feel of the Disney treasures up, except
Mm.
they're like just cardboard, and so it just doesn't.
No,
It has
obviously,
that
yeah,
look,
but
but
the look, the way they're
yeah.
trying to make it look.
Oh hell yeah, that's what. Well, one of the things I got asked a lot, and even like I had people PM me, was that DM me, um, was basically, hey, do you think that they'll do something with the Disney treasures? And here's the thing: Bob Iger is in charge of Disney right now, and
Yeah,
Iger was the guy that stopped Disney treasures. So yeah, so basically, because Leonard Maltin started it, and the guy, I think his name is Cook. Jesus, what's his name? Yeah, I think Cook, something Cook. Him and Leonard
Captain
Maltin
Cook.
got together and started like the Disney Treasures collection, which is a great idea. And Bob Iger stopped it, but if Sony's depends on how much leeway Sony gets
Yeah,
for what they're doing.
they
I
probably won't get a lot of leeway. I won't think it'll be a lot, but you never know because when they sign these contracts, it can be random. Do you know what I mean? Like they could go, "Oh, we'll do this, but we expect to release these ones that never been released before
yeah,
in a
like
long time, maybe 5 or whatever." You never know.
I think we'll get more releases than most people are expecting. But I think like Disney will have certain things that they just won't want to. I kind of got a feeling that with the Star Wars movies, maybe George Lucas put in some admonium that they can't release the
Oh,
original Star Wars,
definitely.
which is Lucas, you douchebag.
Well, it's like when UFC was sold. They said the Fratelli brothers said, "Keep Dana White on as president, as you know, our contractual agreement," and they did. It's like that.
I like also interfere with Lynch and cancel Twin Peaks early. Son of a
Mm,
bitch.
that was such a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, have you heard of the Kingdom series, the Lars Van Trier one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
used to have it here somewhere.
Okay, because I was gonna say that's a lot like Twin Peaks.
Hmm. That was fun. They remade that Kingdom Hospital. They called it Kingdom
Mm.
Hospital in North America. Wasn't as good. But what's the one I'm looking for? Yeah, yeah. Oh, what's your favorite
Oh,
breakfast? What's your favorite breakfast?
my favorite breakfast is a full English.
What's included in the English breakfast?
In an English breakfast, you've got, well, it depends on who's doing it. You've got hash browns, you have sausages, egg, bacon, buttered bread or fried bread or toast. You have beans, maybe mushrooms, depending on who you are, and stuff like that.
No, no mushrooms. No mushrooms.
No mushrooms, they're the best part.
Am I the only one expecting a huge Spider-Man box out of this deal? That would be nice, actually. I have the
Oh,
DVD release of Spider-Man 66, which is like just so great.
so
Um,
rare and all.
it's a good one. But
Imagine, imagine if they did. Imagine if they did the whole series and the movies, including the 70s one as well, because that is the best Spider-Man ever. It'd be amazing.
the 70s one.
Yeah, you know the live action one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, who are these? There's no animated 70s Spider-Man series.
Yeah, the 70s live action movie is by far the best Spider-Man ever.
Well, unfortunately at the time Disney couldn't keep that Spider-Man set out because of it was with Sony.
Yeah.
So now there's that. I'm not sure if we get I would love to see a big set, but I think for sure we're going to get Spider-Man 66 finally out on probably Blu-ray. Probably Blu-ray for that. That'll be
It's
pretty
got to be,
amazing.
isn't it? With all, well, if you think about all the Batman, Superman series all coming out, that makes sense.
Well, look
You
at
know,
this
to do it this time.
Look at the Batman 66 limited edition. How well that did.
Yeah, I love that set.
Full Scottish to a full English haggis, sausage, and black pudding. Oh my god, dude! I could not eat that.
They don't.
You have a better
It-
constitution than me.
I guess it's horrible. I've tried it. It's disgusting.
Take the mushrooms. You take the mushrooms off is what you do, Andy. No mushrooms. No mushrooms allowed.
I
No
always
mushrooms.
had the mushrooms.
No mushroom, no onion. No mushroom, no onion.
If you take the mushrooms, that means you're a winner. If you don't, that means you're a wiener. That's
means
the way
you're-
it is.
Yeah. Wiener. is right. No, it's not. I'll take
You'll take the wiener.
Vienna sausage.
Ooh.
The Vienna sausage is a thing over there. Did you get that in it?
What's that?
Did you ever have Vienna sausage?
Vienna sausage. I don't know. All I know is sausage. What's Vienna sausage?
It's a Canadian thing. I'll show you. Like Indy and other Canadian people know it. So it is massively popular in Canada. And
Okay.
I'll show
So
you
it's
right
as
now.
popular as hockey then. Oh, okay, maybe.
So like
But-
there's other different versions of it. But the Vienna sausage is always the best.
It looks like a hot dog.
No, so it's only like around this big.
Oh, okay.
What?
Tell the story about the cats smelling it.
The Vienna sausage? I mean the cat food thing?
No, when they smell the Vienna sausage.
Oh yeah. We mean they wouldn't eat it?
Yes.
Yeah. That was in yeah, I had Vienna sausages. And my cats back there would eat everything, right?
Yeah.
But they smelled Vienna sausages and they walked away.
Oh god. Well, all of them.
Yeah. No, my cats are in Canada.
Oh, that's
Love Vienna
scary.
sausage, especially when I was young, although would just prefer some hot dogs. Run on the spam, you move to Vienna sausages. It's only poutine. Well, that's the thing. Well, that's what we're doing. Secretly, we're eating poutine. Now, here's the thing.
Pretty.
If you have poutine, if you go to a restaurant and you have poutine in another country, right? That's not
Yeah.
again. One, sacrilege. But two, here's the thing to see if they're doing it right or not. So,
Ooh.
if it's shredded cheese on your fries, that's not poutine. That's, if you got shredded cheese and like gravy on your fries, it's not poutine. One, poutine is used, cheese curds are used for poutine.
Oh,
And-
nice.
Not shredded. And poutine is a poutine sauce. So, which is similar but not the same as gravy.
Well, that's like, when you go to a hotel room, you've got to check the two-way mirrors. You know that? When you check the two-way mirror, make sure they're not watching you.
I've never done that. I should
Well,
because
if
I've
you-
got that movie that like, what's that Giallo film that I got from Mondo. Remember? You got
I
it.
remember. Yeah, you're talking about the Greek one, right?
Yeah, the Greek Giallo one. But
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
Good one.
Well, apparently, if you throw chopped up cheese up against it and it doesn't stick, then that means there isn't one. But if you put cheese curds up, then it stays there. Then that means there's a two-way mirror.
Oh God, I bet I've had so many bad poutines where they just use cheddar cheese cubes. Yeah, they're trying to like emulate cheese curds. There was this like chip truck in Ottawa, and it was like best poutine ever was on the chip truck. Right, it was written on chip truck. I'm like, well, that's a bold statement because you live right next to Montreal, and Montreal is kind of known for it, right?
Yeah.
And so I go there and I'm walking and it's just me and I think my oldest daughter at the time. No, I think both my daughters were there. And so I start, we get some. And it really is the best poutine.
Oh,
And
wow.
to this day, it's still the best poutine that I've ever had.
That's crazy. You know what I miss? I miss those old food trucks.
I love those.
You know, but we're everywhere.
When I was in St. John's, in St. John's there's a street called George Street, Malcolm, and George Street has the most amount of clubs on any street in Canada.
That's because George is a party goer. He's a party dude.
And so you go there, and not me, of course, but people would go there and get like be really drunk, and then you go outside and you just go to one of like the chip drunks. Like there was like,
Yeah.
oh, him, what's the name of that one with the questionable name? The was it Long Dong or something like that?
I like that. The long dong.
There's like the name. There was like a name. There was like, and we giggled every time we saw it because it was like it had like that type of name. Blank check. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind blank check. That'd be kind of cool.
Hmm.
Actually, I think Blu-ray would be good for me for blank check. But yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
I don't think everything needs to be on 4K. I mean, we're definitely in the time where not everything is going to be out on 4K.
What's the name of that
Yeah.
that truck? And it's killing me now.
Food truck. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Just got an email from ASAN. I won a CR. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a car.
Thanks. Not long. Thanks. So we want to go back to St. John's. St. John's is amazing, actually. I love St. John's. Yesterday was 50th anniversary of Tim Horton's death car wreck. So for those that don't know, Tim Horton, aside from being like a really cool like shop for coffee and donuts in Canada, he was a hockey player, and like that's his name. That's what Tim Hortons was started from. He was a hockey player, and he started up this coffee shop that became this really big thing.
And he died. That's gutting.
Oh yeah,
It's sad when you see that stuff, and then you find out the anniversary. It's like in like what 3 more years? It'll be 30 years since Princess Diana died in her crash.
I was watching a movie with my cousin, old sci-fi cheesy movie with my cousin Raj,
Yeah.
and I'd just gotten over, and the news was on because like you turn it off and that comes right back to the channel, right? And it's like, oh, Princess Di is passed, it's passed away, and we're like, oh God, there's another Princess Diana from another, because we couldn't grasp the concept at the time that Princess Diana, like that Princess Diana had passed. We automatically assumed it was another like
Of course,
country, another country. She was too young. She was too just not somebody you'd see like that.
And she always shined bright.
Yeah.
It's like for me, I remember I was on holiday with my grandma and my family. And me and my grandma, we went to what looks like one of those really old ice cream places you see on the, like, like when you see the ones in Israel, kind of, where they look all kind of cool and that, like the ones in there in Popsicle. And we were in there, and I picked up an ice cream. We got to the counter, and on the little radio, it said Princess Diana has passed in a car crash. And the person behind the counter just started crying their eyes out and fell on the floor. And we just ended up getting free ice cream.
I remember when I was young, and I was dating this girl. This was like way before that happened. But she was massive Princess Diana fan. Like she had like books, like there's magazines,
Oh yeah,
posters. Like there's a lot of girls when I was growing up that was Princess Diana. Like Sam, you wouldn't see it like so much now, but like Sam, you get like pop stars or movie stars. She was seen in that way. There would be like magazines and books.
It's like me with the Queen Mother. You know the Queen Mother? When I was younger, I was obsessed with her, right? So much so that I'd look at the pages so often they stuck together.
Queen. Living with roommates in Charlottetown would happen. It's one of those things that you always know where you were. That's like Challenger. I hate going on these type things, but I just real quick before I go back on it, because I want to end on a note. And my computer's almost dead. The Challenger, we were watching in school. When it was going up,
Yeah.
And so teachers are like, okay, we're going to get all the classes together. We're going to watch the Challenger, like Sally Ride, the first woman in space, all this type of stuff. Big deal.
Yeah.
So we'd spent like weeks before in school, and I was in elementary school, just watching, so like learning about space and space race and all this type of stuff, Neil Armstrong and all this stuff. And the guy there was, and the dude, there's the third guy, because you never forget there's three guys in when they went
Yeah.
out, and one guy didn't get to go out, and like, what kind of crappy like thing is that? Like, Neil Armstrong's going out there, the other guy's going out, and he's like inside, like, it's just like, go to Disney World.
Yeah.
You sit in the
And
car,
being in the
everybody
car.
else is going
Yeah.
out. But no, so we're in school, and they sent us all home, because right in front of our eyes, this type thing. And they said, here's a note, gonna go home, probably gonna contact, well, I lived in a smaller place, so you could actually do that. So teachers contacted parents and stuff like that.
The exact same thing happened when, the thing happened in 2001 in America.
Yeah, I think we don't talk about that because
Yeah. Well, I get that, but what I'm saying is the same thing happened. We got sent home because it was so, shocking. We were sent home early.
I was actually going to work. I was getting ready for work, and I was actually putting on my jacket, and the news came out, and I'm like, holy crap. And then I get a call on my phone, and it's like, work's canceled for the day. Same thing with not the same thing, but when the Timothy McVeigh thing as well. It was like,
Yeah.
but it's a crazy world, Malcolm. It's a crazy world, man.
It's very crazy.
But a lot of good stuff
madness.
happens too. Like, you can sit down and forget all about that stuff and watch Star Wars.
Ooh.
Watch some classic Star Wars on 4K. Look at that.
Do you know I don't own them on 4K?
Really?
Yeah.
No,
I think it's because I keep waiting for. I think it's because I keep expecting another version.
You keep expecting the originals to come back out.
No, but I mean, like more extras and all that stuff.
Dude, more extras? Seriously? You want
Well,
more?
it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered today. Well, ordered the Criterion 4K of the Heroic Trio.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
I was going to buy it off somebody over here on eBay who had it for pre-sale, but get this. This is the difference. If I'd have bought it from him, it would have cost me £57, right?
Yeah.
Buying it from a place in America with free shipping, it cost me $34. That's a massive difference.
That's an amazing difference.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at what I'm going to pick up for my birthday month. Actually, now we had a carpet room recently. Over the next couple of months, we want to set up the upstairs area, so TV and shelving that there. So I want to be able to do some pre-taping up there, and hopefully, if the connection is good, to be able to do some live up there as well, because
Ooh.
make for a good setup. Like, I like to have like I do a lot of videos, have like the Golden Girls pitch behind me and stuff like that, but I do have talk about movies and stuff like that. So it's nice to come on here and for people to know that I actually do own movies. Like, people are like, my God, there's no movies in his back. Does he actually like movies?
He likes them. It's a green screen.
Yeah, that's right. And no, this is actually a secret like door, right? It opens up to my bed cave.
It's a new technology where you can pick it from the green screen.
Yeah, the good stuff.
You've got one of those Batman things where you pull one out and you go down the pole.
What do we got here? What do I got over here? Foreign Correspondent.
Ooh.
Good movie, actually.
It is a good movie.
Great packaging. When people complain sometimes, looking at you, Frank Canalata, about Criterion's packaging, this is actually really nice.
I still can't believe your dad couldn't beat me on Alfred Hitchcock titles.
That was surprising. But I'm surprised you. I hope you learned that you have to watch more Tarzan movies in your life.
I haven't even watched a single one other than the animated one yet.
Oh God, man!
It
Like
wasn't our thing. It wasn't our thing. It wasn't over it that much.
you
Like
to think
Jungle
that
Gym, we didn't have that here either.
I can see Jungle Gym's like, I know Jungle Gym because I used to watch it, but like it is lesser known. But Tarzan is like, I'm actually very shocked that there's, muscular dudes in loincloths and Malcolm hasn't seen it.
No. The only
Just,
guys I watch in loincloth looking outfits are sumo wrestlers.
I thought you were going to say Rocco's and Frida, who, by the way, did do a Tarzan film.
Yes. Well, it's easy now because everybody knows who Tarzan is now. But back then, I didn't even have a clue who he was.
But with that being said, and with my computer at 5%, thank you so much for me. Big thank you to George for that incredible donation. Thank you so much.
Good on you, George.
Thank you for Cinematech for buying me my first coffee. So that is super cool. And thank you, Malcolm, for coming in. And guys, we will see you soon. Keep an eye out because in the next month or two, we'll keep you updated on the merch. And you can wear yourself some Call to Cinema stuff. There you go, or drink from it and all that cool stuff. And as we go through, maybe when we have like a podcast and have a name, then we can get some merch for that as well.
Yeah, we will.
Hells yeah. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.